one. Yeah, thank you. All right, we're good. Saxophone. I played sax in the marching band at UCLA, so I can sing. Okay, so we have 3 more songs to do, and they're amazing songs. The first one is another Copland song. Who would have thought I could play 3 Copland songs in one concert? I'm in heaven right now. Okay, so this is Appalachian Spring. I first got introduced to this when I was in high school. I went to Brand Library. I checked out the score. I listened to a Bernstein recording with LA Phil, and really, the first time I truly listened to a score, it was just absolutely phenomenal. I just loved it. It's an arrangement of a famous Appalachian Spring ballet, which was originally titled Ballet for Martha. Martha Graham choreographed everything. They did the hoedown. They did rodeo together as well. But Appalachian Spring, they did. It was written in 1944 and tells the story of a young frontier couple on their wedding day in an Appalachian settlement in 19th century Pennsylvania as they start their life together. This is, again, 1944. So this is written pretty much the same time that the Crowfield piece was. So America's trying to look forward to a sense of unity and a revival here, which again, spring is about renewal. So America's looking ahead, trying to bring some new life into the world. So here we go, Appalachian Spring. So next is a classic band work called Second Suite in F for Military Band by Gustav Holst, composed in 1911, so a long time. It has 4 movements. First is a march, English folk song. They call this Swansea Town. The next one is Song Without Words. It's All Love, My Love. It's about a person whose lover is across the ocean, sent to war, and they don't know if they'll see them again. And so you'll hear a lot of water imagery in there. Song of the Blacksmith. Picture an old town, someone with the anvil, hitting the anvil with a hammer, trying to forge horse equipment, bridles, spurs, swords, anything, I don't know. And then Fantasia on the darker songs, the last one. It's a really fun piece, mixture of a darker song melody, an early English melody, and green sleeves. You're going to hear them at the same time, which should be pretty cool. It's an epic piece with a fun piccolo and tuba solo duet at the end. So enjoy Second Military Suite by Gustav Holst in F. Sorry about that. Okay, so one quick thing I want to say about that piece. That piece is designed for like a smaller, like half size that we have. And we took that to festival, and band got unanimous superiors on what they played, which was awesome. As did Symphony, I forgot to mention that, so congratulations. But one of the really good comments that the judges said about a group this size playing the holst, there's so many different things happening that they could hear all the voices to be able to control a group this size. They come in at 7:15 in the morning, they squeeze into this room over there, and we're able to get some good music out of them. So we're very, very happy about that. So we're going to close tonight with a short, applause. They're awesome. So this last piece is a newer piece by a composer that we've loved throughout the ages. He kind of writes in a similar style, but Rossano Galante. He wrote a piece called Midnight Ride in 2023, so it's the newest piece that we have. We're going to ride with Paul Revere, Samuel Adams, and Samuel Prescott from Boston to Concord in Acton, Massachusetts, where they will spread the word that the British are coming. So here we go, Midnight Ride. Thank you. So this is a very great bunch of kids, and I forgot to do something at the winter concert. So if you are an officer, can you stay standing? Everyone else sit down. Okay, I was in such a rush to do everything. So these are our officers for band and wind ensemble. Can you give them an applause, please, our officers? And if you are a senior, can you stand up? Everyone else sit down. Okay, these are our seniors. So again, I apologize for not doing that at the winter concert. We were just, a lot of things were in my head. So thank you very much. I'd also like to thank ETLP and Ms. Dominguez for all the hard work that they've been doing to get all these things on. I'd like to thank my family, my wife Suzanne, who puts up with me over there somewhere. And my mom came, and my in-laws are here, and everybody's here. So thank you for coming. And this is an amazing, they're all amazing groups. Okay, and I know next year's rough. We got no seventh period traditional schedule. I know people are trying to figure out what they can do, and please do what you can do to continue to keep music in your schedule, because it's something that really enriches everybody. It helps them, it balances them out, and we did it before COVID. We can do it after COVID. There are ways to do it, so please continue to support what we're doing here, because they sounded amazing, and it's just to get that large of a group to play with dynamics and control is just phenomenal. So thank you very much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate you here, and have a wonderful spring break. Wish us good luck as we take 75 kids to Florida and go crazy with our 10 adults there. And should be a lot of fun. And all right, so thank you very much. If you are an equipment manager or people that help to do things, percussion and strings and brass and everybody else,